Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Creative Confidence series. I want to talk about the next big project that I did in my woodworking journey, which I think came a year later in 2017. And this is the copycat Daybed. I was looking for, I'm a sucker for Midcentury Modern. Sorry. And I was looking for this daybed that I could put in the extra room of the house I was renting at the time to have a place for guests to stay. So I was renting a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, ridiculous great deal. This was back in the heyday before rent went crazy. And I wanted something that was big enough to fit, big enough size mattress. It's a standard, it's not really, it's a semi-standard size wrap mattress, but also look great while doing it. So I ran across this design online, and I'll try to put the link in the description. But I ran across this design online that actually showed me that this was a really cool thing. And again, this was my oak phase, so this is made out of oak. There's a lot of projects that I like out of oak. There's a couple reasons I like oak, and I'm gonna go on a tangent, so just bear with me. The main reason I like oak is because it does take stain really well, and it's also very strong. It's a wood that is pretty versatile. It's tough enough where you're not gonna be spending an outrageous amount of money, but it is quality enough where you can get it to look like other things. If I were to do this out of walnut, it would have been like 7, 8, 9 times the price. I don't know how much more it would have been, but it would have been very expensive to build this out of walnut. And it is stained again in the similar color that I use, the Danish oil that I love and adore. And this is what my friend and I built. So this is all oak. We actually took a lot of the hardest part for this for us were the legs. This is a pretty standard construction. You can see here we have some pocket holes. This panel here is actually 3 pieces of oak. The seam is there and there. We just sanded it really well. The seams are there, and they are just straight up butt jointed. The actual edge here is actually rounded over with a router, so it doesn't just look like one big block. My friend actually freehanded that with his router. So all of the edges, especially on the ones you can see there, are all kind of set up to be more inviting and not as pointy of an edge, so no one is kind of getting themselves hurt. But it's standard bed construction. This bed actually breaks down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So there's the 2 rails for the actually hold the actual frame together. There's the 2 side panels, and then there is this 1 piece up here, which is just the bed stretcher. And the thing I liked about this design is it was very simple. But going back to the hardest part about this and what we learned. So this was pretty standard for us at this point. My friend and I have been working on projects. We have built a lot of different things. And this was the easy part. These gluing up stuff, rounding it over, and even making these notches to put these pieces in was pretty easy. And then this is just a piece of wood, right? It's not that difficult. We put the pocket holes on the back here instead of in the side on this piece here, because you can't see them when it's up against the wall. So that was all nice and simple. However, the original design had a more kind of rounded, kind of like this rounded kind of pointy leg. It was smaller than that, so not this one, but it was something like that. A little bit thicker, probably around there. Now, we don't have the capability, and it kind of flowed out there, it kind of flared, so it was kind of like this leg. Now, it was all made of wood, and I'm sure they're using like a tenon mortise and tenon construction to achieve that, but we didn't know. And so we originally, you know, we glued this together. I think we did put dowels. I think there are dowels that run in there specifically for that part. And so we did add some strength there, but when we first tested this out, because I was like, all right, let's put the slats in. There's pieces of wood that we cut that just, you know, span this gap here. There's pieces of wood just go across and actually span the gap between the two and, you know, add strength for the frame and the mattress. We tried that and the legs were flimsy. So what we ended up doing, as you can see here, is we actually went back with 4 screws and kind of made it so that we could kind of bolster that up. So this plate actually laps over the 2 pieces. So these are all set up. These are all like as part of that, and that piece kind of hung over the edge, but it needed to kind of be doubled up to add some rigidity. And so I kind of looked at it, and this one was one of the harder projects for us too. This was like when we were really getting our bag, but the hard part about this project as well was there was no plans. This is made not from plans. The Nelson bench had plans. We did not make this from plans. Most of the stuff that I do now, I kind of see and I'm like, I like that. It looks good. Let me get the dimensions. But I did have the dimensions of the actual bed that I was borrowing this from, copying it from online. So I was able to recreate that, find a mattress that fit in that, and then we kind of tweaked it from there to kind of make it work better for us and make it a little easier for us to realistically come in and build this. So those were the challenges. And again, this was in a part of time in my life I was trying to find out what hobbies I liked, and I was just building stuff with my friend. And so we didn't know what we didn't know, but we made things based on what we liked. And if I was smart at the time, I would have started a YouTube channel and filmed all of that, because this would have been great content. But another view from the side kind of shows you, you know, just the overall profile. This ended up being stained in the same color that we had before. So the nice thing about this one is that I really did enjoy it, and I still use it and have it in my house today. That is great. The other thing about building furniture for yourself and building anything for yourself is you're probably going to use it longer. You know, I don't think I would ever get rid of this. I think this would probably travel with me. If I did get rid of it, it would be part of the decor that I sold in the house and kind of tell the backstory about the furniture and having it made. But we copied a couple pieces, and that's a bit of a theme in this. I don't have the big piece that I want to show, but you know, I actually built this bed because I was gonna have somebody stay with me at the time for a little while. And what ended up happening, I ended up getting a roommate a couple years from there, and he actually used this bed even until I moved into my current home. So this was really nice to have, and I still have it today. Eventually, in the last few years, it got used as my late dog's bed, Rocco, R.I.P. Rocco. And it was able to have him. He had his own sheets. It was a great place for him. So this has gotten a lot of life, and it's just a great piece to have. And I love it because I got to personally make it, and it looks good. It doesn't take a lot of effort to build things, and you don't always have to have a plan. Sometimes you can kind of, you know, figure out how things work. And as we get into building things, I think, you know, these are the things that early on in my woodworking career and hobby, I just decided to make stuff that I thought looked good. And it turned out pretty good. And I've been using it for a very long time now, so I'm very happy with this one. But thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And if you ever are inspired, just create. It's not hard to get started, and the worst that can happen is you can always figure out that you need to add more support in places or fix things here or there. But when you build something you love, even with this grain, you can see the grain direction. It's not quite book matched, but we did what we could. We did our best. I bought a fair number of wood and boards to make this happen. But you can make your dreams a reality. So thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share this with somebody else, and see you next time.